people on the internet, presumably X or Twitter, are complaining about how this is inaccurate. It does not depict Frieren very well as a character. Frieren would never dress up this way. She is a very conservative character. Of course, it is not, and that is the whole point. Hi and welcome back to the channel. I'm Steven with your weekly figure news fix. This time around 2nd to 7th of March 2026. For this week, we also don't have as many figures as last week. But, well, the third parties, there is quite some stuff going on. So, this week is a bit longer than last week. I think last week had lesser figures. And for Friday, today specifically, the day I'm recording this video, there is this Hololive Fest 2026. So Good Smile Company announced a bunch of Hololive figures, Nandroids and so on. I don't plan on making a video on that because it is only Hololive stuff. And one more thing would be, we had a lot of bad news in the past week alone. Yes, geopolitical stuff, the invasion over at Middle East and so on, and things are not looking good. And why does that matter to us? Yes, it does matter. You see, I feel like this hobby is in a really sad state at the moment, where that war that we're looking at in the Middle East is going to affect sea freight. Yes. And let's hope that your anime figures are not passing through there right now, the Strait of Hormuz or something like that. And one more thing would be, you know, the recent tariff thing in the US. Sudden tariff change, I think up to 15% now. And AmiAmi and a few other Japanese websites have stopped shipping to US again. So it is a big mess right now. And it is also affecting people's interest in the hobby, which is pretty sad, yeah. Those are completely out of our control, I suppose. And this is the end of my mini rant. Yeah, you see, these kind of things affect us content creators as well. When interest in the hobby declines, our view also declines. Yeah, the view count of our videos and so on. But hey, it is what it is. I shall just move on to this week's figure pre-order. And first up would be Hobby Link Japan for genuine licensed anime figures. And they are putting a lot of stuff on pre-order from the previous weeks, where AmiAmi had started taking pre-orders for them. Yeah, HLG just started pre-ordering those, and I shall skip past those very quickly. So starting off with the first figure here, 1x4 scale. As usual, we have Premon Studio 1x4 scale Premium Master Line Evangelion 3.0. Okay. Rei Ayanami, 105,000 yen, releasing in October 2027. This is pretty much a follow-up to their Asuka figure, around the same price. That pre-order opened, I think, 2 weeks ago, yes. And I was pretty impressed by the base, where it appears to be floating. The same thing over here we get with Rei Ayanami. Yep. So it is like the base or whatever object both of them are leaning against. They are like floating up in mid-air almost, except for that white color pole, I suppose, that is connecting the top and the bottom. Hopefully that is made of metal, because these are pretty heavy figures. These are as nice as it gets for licensed premium resin statues. If you are into supporting licensed stuff, you do not want to buy any of the third parties, then you should give this one a look. I do think they look pretty nice. Moving on to the next one, this is a quick mention, 1x6 scale Cocktail Girl Deluxe Edition. This went on pre-order on AmiAmi like a week ago or 2 weeks ago. Way cheaper over at AmiAmi, and once again HLJ offered us a really high price for this resin figure of an original character. I'm not too sure why. And here, the standard version, 41,000 yen. Get yours at AmiAmi if you want her. For me, this is just an overpriced bunny girl, so I have no interest whatsoever. Next up, this was also on AmiAmi last week, 1x6 scale Bear Panda and Sparky Ghost Blade Aeolian Princess version, 13,400 yen, releasing in January, which is a good price for 1x6 scale. But this is a realistic figure, and somebody did ask me, I think it was in Discord, yep, how do I display this figure when the face is facing upwards? How am I supposed to enjoy looking at the figure? The answer is pretty simple actually. You display her at the same eye level whenever you're sitting or standing, depends, you know, if you're sitting on the desk, then you put it on a shelf at the same eye level, except her backside is facing your face. That's how you display her. Yeah. If you can't enjoy the face, enjoy the backside. That's my answer. Moving on to the next one here. Also pre-order opened 2 weeks ago. Koi Koi Sakura Receptionist Original Character. Low budget figure, 9,000 yen, releasing in September. So this is like, yeah, I think I said the same thing back then. The receptionist character you see in Isekai anime or MMORPG anime in general. Next up, I think this one is new. This one just pre-order opened this week. 1/6 scale real on real. Teacher cloth costume. They could have given her a nicer name. 10,000 yen, February release next year. So this is like 1/6 scale PVC figure, which is why it is cheap. But it is similar to the low budget, no, not low budget, my bad. It is similar to the original characters made by resin figure brands at 1/6 or 1/4. This is like a low budget version of that, if that makes any sense. Not my kind of thing, but I would reckon that some people would love stuff like this. And she is wearing like real fabric cloth. You can remove the top if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, it is like partially cast offable in a way. Well, original character like this, it is like, you know, nothing special to me other than the cloth outfit feature, I suppose. Moving up to the next one, 1/6 scale New Era and Honor of Kings, Si Shi Youlong Qingying. Okay, 33,000 yen at 1/6 scale by PJ Studio, September release, and that would be this September. Pretty fast, coming from PJ Studio. So PJ Studio, in case you only collect licensed anime figures and you have never heard of this brand, they have been around for many years. They mostly make original characters, resin statues, and 1x4, very expensive, $600 to $800. But in the recent year, they have started making PVC figures. And this is just one of those. Oh boy. The transition of the leg over here is very nice. Yeah, it transitions into transparent. Well, it is PVC figure. Not really. I think this figure is a mix of both resin and PVC. I remember reading the details on the materials list of this figure. And I think I covered this in OSGK weeks ago. I think I did. Okay. Up next, Hololive stuff, though this is just a re-release. Yukihana Lami from Hololive, 1/6 scale, Max Factory, 32,000 yen, releasing in January 2027. So if you missed out your first chance, yes, pre-order it, right? The thing with Hololive is that I have zero interest in VTubers whatsoever, but it is a fact that many people love Hololive and VTubers, right? So a lot of their figures in general, be it scale figures like this one, or even pop-up parades, they sell out really quickly, and then after release, you know, within a few weeks, the market value goes up very quickly. Even the trash pop-up parade figures, right? Those that are full of QC issues, they went up from 5 to 10,000 yen. I've seen that happen in AmiAmi itself, and then Good Smile had to re-release them. And yep, into this Hololive Fest event, they announced pop-up parade L Hololive characters. I was like, took you guys long enough. Should have done so earlier. Yeah. So my advice for this is simple. Pre-order it if you want her, even though the price is high, because it could be even higher after release. Yeah. Moving on to the next one. This is another one of those figures where you should get it early, or the same thing would happen. Yes, the price would go up. And Sakura Miko from Hololive is very popular as far as I'm aware of. And I have reviewed her pop-up parade before, a few years ago. And that was actually one of the better pop-up parade figures of Hololive characters because it was made by Max Factory. Yeah. 26,000 yen by Design Coco, June release. Pre-order it early. That is the only advice I have. Though I don't really care about this character myself. Design Coco is a great brand. Like, their premium scale figures are easy to recommend. At least their premium scale figures, right? Their low budget figures, El Coco, I would say be careful of that. Moving on to the next one here, Natori Sana. Hey, you are just an independent VTuber. What is up with you showing up this week? Anyways, this is by Wave Corporation, Jiangshi version of Natori Sana at 21,600 yen, March release 2027. Looks really nice, and You know, my favorite part about this figure is 3 faceplates. Yes, 3 of them. So let me bring up the second one here. Should be, there is, yeah, this one. This smug face is my favorite. I love smug faces. And the third one would be closed eye. Yep, there we go. This is my favorite, though I'm not buying it. And Wave Corporation is a top tier figure brand. Their quality control is excellent. Just that I've never rated them highly simply because, you know, they don't make very sophisticated, complex figures. Moving up next, we have a brand called Mimosa, a very new brand. I've never heard of them. And I'm not sure what to say about this brand, whether they're any good or not, because I believe they don't have anything released yet. New brand. So this is 1/7 scale Yamato Deluxe Edition. Original character, I suppose. I'm not too sure what character is this. Very expensive, 33,000 yen for the DX version, November release, and that would be this November. That Foxtail is the deluxe version, and there's a standard version, 30,000 yen. So that giant part, that giant foxtail is only an additional 3,000 yen. Why did this version even exist? I have no idea. It makes no sense to me. If this is like 27,000 yen, then I can sort of understand why this version needs to exist, but this is like a 10% difference in price for a huge part as well. And somebody did ask whether that foxtail is plugged into the figure, like there is an actual pack at the back of the figure, because he could not find an answer to this question. Yep, I went through all of the pictures over here. If we look at the picture of this figure from the back, there are no holes for you to plug something into. And that foxtail is being supported by that metal rod over there. It is shaped in a way, you know, the foxtail is shaped in a way where it is being plugged into the back of the figure, yet I am unable to verify anything based on all of the pictures over here, so I do not have an answer to that. Hopefully, it is being plugged into the figure. I think that is the more likely scenario between the two. Like the tail floating in mid-air with no connection to the figure sounds really weird and impossible to me. So I think it is very likely that it's plugged into the figure, but because the tail is so heavy, they need to support it from the bottom, understandable. So what do you think about this character over here? For me, it feels like I'm looking at some Azalane or Kantai collection character for some reason. Feels that way to me. Yeah, and that is my only opinion about this figure. Next up, what do we have over here? Banimals Xiaoju by Sakura Gear, 25,000 yen, May release. So this figure pre-order opens on Friday, and I'm filming this video on Friday as well, Friday evening. By the time this video is published on Sunday, I'm not sure if this will be in stock. This will be pre-order sold out or not, that's what I mean. You see, Sakura Gear is a brand that you may have never heard of if you started collecting very recently, in the past year or so. But they have one furry figure that pre-order opened, I think 2 years ago, 2 or 3 years ago, I don't remember anymore, but it was quite a while ago. That figure pre-order sold out on AmiAmi on day one within an hour, and on other websites like HLJ, on Hobby Search and so on, within the same day. She pre-order opened, sold out everywhere on every Japanese website. So furry fans are not to be underestimated. I'm not sure by now on Sunday whether she's available or not. If you like her, you love your furries, and she is still available, pre-order it, right? Yes, the first figure back then pre-order sold out within a day or less than that. And then her value shot up obviously after release, and I think it was only a year later that Sakura Gear decided to re-release that figure, but it was a limited re-release, so that figure is still pretty rare and hard to find, and expensive of course. I do think the same thing would happen to this one, right? The difference is that this one would probably sold out slower than that first furry figure from a few years ago, or maybe she won't sell out at all, because of the current geopolitical situation I'm talking about right now, right? So people are now very wary about buying or ordering anime figures because they don't know how long the delay is. They don't know if, the ship carrying their figures will be sunk in the middle of the sea on the way to your country, things like that. So people are very afraid to spend right now. That's the situation I'm noticing from pretty much the entire Western Hemisphere, not just the US. So despite all of these factors that I just mentioned, I think my opinion remains the same. If you like her, if you want it, pre-order it early if she's still available. Moving on to the next one right here from Proof, we have 1/7 skill Yanagi Ozaki. Ozaki-chan's younger sister. Was it? Younger sister. 24,000 yen. Releasing this November. Both the mom and Ozaki has pre-order opened like months ago. Finally, Yanagi. And you know what's funny? I went through all of the pictures over here. Right? From different angles. This is a higher angle. And there are pictures of her taken at a slightly lower angle, I think. Oh, two different faceplates. Two different faceplates. At least there's something. Because I was about to complain the figure is expensive. Anyways, I went through every picture over here earlier and I could not see any eyes underneath the hair in front. So I wonder if she even has any eye decals applied onto the faceplate. And if yes, I do wonder what she looks like when you push aside her hair. I don't think it was ever shown to us in the anime adaptation, right? For example, Nikke's Elec, there are eyes underneath her hair. And if you pay attention to the figures of her that were currently on pre-order or even released by third parties, there are eyes underneath it. But I don't see any in this figure over here. Moving on to the next one, we have a couple of Licorice Recoil figures over here. This week is a lot of anime figures, like literally anime characters and Hololive. This would be Chisato Nishikigi key visual version, almost 17,000 yen. And of course, Takina. Same price, both are releasing in March 2027. Well, both of them look pretty nice, but guess what? I prefer the older version that came out. Was it a year ago or longer than that? I did not bother to check, yes. So this pair is, they are nice. This pair of figures is nice, but I prefer the older version because Takina is holding that huge HMG, the heavy machine gun. That would be much nicer. Anyways, these are really cheap. And the base is small. They barely take up any space on your shelf. Good small. Their stuff are easy to recommend. Okay, next up, Kotobukiya 1/7 skill art FXJ Katsuya Jonochi. Joey Wheeler, passionate duelist version from Yu-Gi-Oh! 19,000 yen, releasing in this September. Okay, do not pre-order this figure on HLJ or AmiAmi or Hobby Search even, because there is a Kotobukiya exclusive version where she comes with a different face, which I would describe it as troll face. We saw that in my Kotobukiya collection event coverage. So that is the version you should really get, and I know it is really hard to get the online exclusive version. You might have to pay a small premium for it, but it is worth getting the premium version if you're interested in this one. I'm not sure if Ninin Game has it, because Ninin Game, they offer exclusive stuff. So maybe Ninin Game has it, or even Big in Jab. Just that over at Big in Jab, I think you have to pay the full amount upfront when you pre-order an exclusive item. If I'm not mistaken, because I haven't checked their website in years, right? Some rules may have changed since then. Right, moving on to the next one. This is a quick mention. Pre-order opened last week on AmiAmi. Animaster 1/7 scale Girls Frontline 2 Exilum Yuhi Sweet Miracle, 10,000 yen only. I think this is a must-have for any GFL fans. It is so cheap after all. The sad part is that she is not holding any rifle or her firearm in short. So that is a minus, but still this is a really good price. Beautiful figure. And Animaster makes excellent low-budget figures. Next up, we have two figures from Belfine in two-dimensional paint version. 2D art. So this statue of Mirko from My Hero Academia looks incredible. It really looks like something straight out of anime, literally, No matter which angle you look at her from, it looks like anime-style painting or artwork. The problem is the price, 27,000 yen is really pricey, very expensive, but I understand that the yen is very weak right now, so they had to compensate by increasing prices. And please, Belfine, I'm begging you guys not to F up this figure. Please don't, because this is amazing. Yeah, it would be a shame if she comes with QC issues, which is something Belfine is known for. And the second figure with 2D art or 2D painting is, yeah, Bakugo, which I don't care. I don't buy figures of male characters because I couldn't even finish buying the female characters. 20,000 yen, way cheaper because simpler character design and base. Releasing in August. That would be this August. That is really fast. You know, I'm kind of interested in picking up this Mirko just to, experience the figure in person, look at her in person, and see what a 2D painted figure is like. Yeah, I think a figure like this is something that you can only appreciate when you have an actual copy in front of you. Pose is also nice. I have no complaints about this figure at all. Zero complaints. Except for the inconsistency of this brand. Yeah. Right, so moving on to the next one here. Furyu Tenital Big. Yeah, literally Tenital Big. This picture right here. Right, Alia from Alia sometimes hides her feelings in Russian. 18,000 yen. December 2026 release, and I do believe this is very close to 1x4 scale. They are non-scale on paper, but you are getting a 1x4-ish figure for under 20,000 yen. And this really makes Pop-Up Red XL look like a joke in comparison. In fact, I think that product line is already dead. Unofficially dead. Guzman hasn't announced the Pop-Up Red XL in years, I think. So this is worth it if you like her, right? It is worth it. Moving on to the next one, the last 5 or 6 figures are low budget figures. The first one is Pop-Up Red Special, Chiharu and Makina from Milky Subway Galactic Limited Express, which I have no clue what it is, but this thing was all over Wonder Festival just a month ago. Almost 10,000 yen for 2 figures, which is okay, I suppose. They're small figures, short characters, but 2 for 10k is reasonable, even though they are small. Okay, up next over here, Lucria Light under Mega House, Aikatsu and Prepara the movie De Ai no Kiseki Lala Manaka. Wait, this was on pre-order on AmiAmi last week. Yeah, 8,000 yen. I thought this was an exclusive, but it isn't. 8,000 yen September release. And this is Lucria Light Apocalypse Hotel Yachio, 8,000 yen as well. This one doesn't look that good, looks like a price figure to me. And then up next, Mega House GEM Gintama Tenohira. Tenohira is also low budget, palm size figure. Okita-san. You see, Mega House makes a bunch of these palm size figures, but depending on what character and what anime they come from, it can be a Tenohira figure, can be I don't know, can be a Lucria figure, can be a GEM figure. It is so confusing. The way Mega House names their products line and how they separate which is which. Until today, I still couldn't figure out how their product line works. And the last 2 figures are from Square Enix, which you should stay away from, even though it is really cheap at 4,500 yen. A2 from Nier Automata. Yep, looks like crap, I know. The details are barely there. Right, 4,500 yen. They're roughly the size of Pop-Up Red figures, I think. And there is 9S, same price, June release. This June, they're rushing these things out. Right, these are like slightly pricier price figures. Don't keep a high expectation, right? Now we move on to AmiAmi for some exclusive items. And if you're enjoying this video so far or finding it informative, please to give this video a like and subscribe to this channel. As usual, I have affiliate links down in the description below for HLJ and OSGK, or you can occasionally click on the link that pops up on the top right corner of this video to buy stuff. If you are a customer at OSGK and HLJ, that is how you support this channel. Right, the first one here, this is a figure we've seen like 4 times in Wonder Festival since last year's OneFest Winter, and then Summer, and then Mega Hobby Expo as well, I think, and then this year's OneFest Winter earlier last month. So, Amairo Isonauts Masaki Gaylet, 1/7 scale, 28,650 yen for the DX version. get the DX version and ignore everything else, because not only are you getting the AmiAmi bonus over there, there are 2 faceplates, plus she is customable. Double layer, right? You can remove her school uniform, I think, and display her with her undergarment, her pantsu and bra exposed, which is like softcore edgy, partial edgy, or you can completely strip her upper top and expose the opai. Yes, so I couldn't show the pictures on screen obviously, but you're getting a lot of stuff, so at this price I wouldn't complain too much. And I know this is from a game, but I know nothing about the game. Just that the character design really reminds me of those eroge games from 20 years ago, from the 2000s or even early 2010s. I feel nostalgic looking at the character design of this character here. Yeah, as if I've seen it somewhere before. Alright, moving on to the next one here. Alright, I'll skip this one. This went on pre-order weeks ago. AmiAmi bumped her up on the front page. Maybe they are not getting many pre-orders. Same thing for a few other figures that got bumped up from a few weeks ago. I'm not covering them anymore. I mean, this is a seasonal anime, though it was a really good anime. So I'm not too surprised if there are not many people pre-ordering this figure. Yeah. Moving on to the next one here. This one is only available on AmiAmi so far. HLJ never offered figures from Athena X, and you can also get her on OshGK, I think. So this is Mushi Musume. Is it Hotaru? Hotaru. Is that the correct spelling? Right, 1/6 scale, almost 19,000 yen, releasing in April 2027. This is all you get, no cast off or anything. And this brand has a history of providing very few official pictures. Only 6 pictures over here. More like 5. There are 2 duplicates over there. Yep, that is all. Not many pictures. Original character, I think. I'm not too sure. Next up over here, we have, a good one. Okay, Kadokawa KD Call, 1/7 skill, Magia Azure. From Gushing Over Magical Girls, 26,400 yen. Of course, get the DX version. Forget about the cheaper versions because of the cast-off parts, obviously, and also additional faceplates, right? This one and the standard version, the price difference is a lot, but still get the DX version. It is a no-brainer. You don't even need me to tell you that. And yeah, support this anime series, man. Buy their merchandise. We need more Guna stuff like this. Next up, yep, there we go. The standard version is only 20,000 yen. Quite the big price difference over there. And here we go. There are fireworks going off in the background. I just don't understand people who waste money on fireworks. They're literally burning money away. Alright, moving on to the last figure over here. This is from AmiAmi's, major content section. Tamano Kedama original illustration, Tiffany, 1/6 scale by Violet Studio. This is a PVC figure, even though the name is like Violet Studio, no? Sounds like a third-party resin figure brand, but it is PVC figure. Almost 26,000 yen and releasing in August. Yes, this August. Customable, big yes. You can make this lolly go full Hadaka, so pick one up if you like her. The value is very likely to go up further after release. That is usually the case for figures like this. And our last stop over here for genuine figures. Yep, Ninin game for Be Full Insight stuff. Princely Girl Kazemiya Kanade 1/6 scale Hospitality Bunny version. I mean, yeah, Princely looks like a tomboy, but she's still cute, man. 22,000 yen at 1/6 releasing in September. This is the Hadaka version, and here we have the standard version, suppose. Forts Japan, same price, 22k releasing in September. Next up over here, we have Hiyori Wakayama 10th School Swimsuit Gyaru, 24k by inside. Yep, can see Nyan Nyan down there. And there is a somewhat safe version, somewhat. I mean, calling this a safe version is so weird. It is not, obviously. This is by Forts Japan, 24k releasing in September. This is a 1/5 scale. And the next two, the last 2 figures, Chiki Gyaru Natsume Misa Hadaka version 1/4 by inside, 40k. Wow. I don't think I've ever seen an inside figure reach 40,000 yen. This has to be a first. And also here, this is 10th school swimsuit version. Wait, what's the difference again? Yep, the 10 lines, which looks nicer, I believe. 40k September release, and that would be all for genuine licensed PVC figures on pre-order this week. Now we move on to OSGK for third-party resin figures. And as usual, our first section would be, yes, chibi characters. Except we don't have any Anyas this week either, just like last week. But we do have this penguin. Guga Studio and Administrator Penguin Arknights Enfield. Alright, that is pretty cute. You can get her in life size, 1x1 scale for $312 or 1x4 at $70. Is this like a tiny, small character, an avatar of some kind? I have no idea since I don't play the game, but this is adorable. Maybe get the life size. It has to be huge. So I do wonder what is the dimensions of the life size 51 cm, which is the size of a 1x4 scale human figure, I suppose. Very cute. And the next one here, we have a Crying Frieren by Kawaii Studio, $103. September release. Alright, chibi figure. I have to say, the craftsmanship around the mouth region is really nice. Does this feel out of character to you? I'm not sure. I haven't watched Frieren Season 2 yet, by the way. And I know I should really watch it, but I did not even finish Season 1. That's my problem right there. 16 cm, I believe. Yep, 16 cm. Okay, moving on to the next one here. Our next section, life-sized waifus. And this brand, Basilia, they have started to make anime-style dolls. This is not the first one, but they have started making stuff like this and they look pretty nice. So this is Linye makeup style, no, anime style character design for $1,100 only. $1,100 is actually not bad. Life size, right? 142 cm. Hey. The EU is not going to be happy with this. How dare you import a life-sized doll that looks like someone who is, 142 cm. But I do have a female friend who is around this height and she's an adult, like legal lolly adult. So, yeah. Just dropping random information. Next up over here, alright, this is a realistic one. Dreamy Illusion Kalia Ultra Makeup 1x1 scale, $3,700. Just an elf, right? Yeah, not too interested in this one. Releasing in May. And the third one here, whoa, this is pricey. No, it is actually cheap. You can get both as a set for $3,200, man. Before shipping, of course. That would make it $1,600 each. Just that, Ram and Ram, they are twins. So it is like buying the same doll twice. And the only difference is the hair color or the wig color. I mean, we're talking about Ram and Ram over here. You need both as a set. Otherwise, it feels like something is missing. Yet, at the same time, it feels like buying the same thing twice. But I know. Before you correct me, I know. Their oppai size is different. I'm aware of that. Ram is flatter. I mean, twins are cute in anime. And even as PVC figures, I'm okay buying a pair, right? A set. But life-sized... I'm having mixed feelings for sure. Next up over here, ACY Studio original character chess game horse statue. That is a woman, not a horse. 1x6 scale, $347, releasing in December. The only thing that is horse about this figure is, yep, the mask over there. Oh, that is pretty. For some reason, this reminds me of a particular character from Fire Emblem. Yeah, but realistic face version. Alright, this is quite nice actually. $347 at 1/6 is a bit pricey though. This is almost 1x4 scale territory, almost. But I understand. I think the weapons, whatever. Weapons are expensive or something. I have no clue. Moving on to the next one here. Now we move into anime characters section. That was the original characters section earlier. Only one figure. So the first one here in anime characters section, we have Black Swan Collectibles. Marley, Chrono Trigger. Oh, Chrono Trigger. This anime is from the 2000s, right? I think early 2000s. I watched like episode 1. Yeah, illegal downloads on the internet. I tried episode 1. I was like, this is quite nice. This is interesting. Maybe I should watch it someday, but I haven't watched it yet. This is a very old anime for sure. $753. This has to be 1x4 scale, right? Even for 1x4 scale, this is pretty pricey. Let me have a look. Height is 46.3 cm, including the base up 1x4. But this is a short character. At least she looks like a short character. Now I'm feeling like I'm looking at someone from Dragon Ball. It is a nice statue, but Chrono Trigger. How big of a fan base this anime has? Or maybe it was adapted from a game, who knows, right? I only know the anime adaptation. How big of a fan base is there? For someone to drop $750 on this, I have no idea. Yeah, but she does look pretty nice. Next up over here, Yunchi Studio, Mari Makinami, and also Kaworu Nagisa from Evangelion. $262 each at 1/6 scale, releasing this June. You know, from a distance, this almost looks like a female character with a flat chest. And there we go, Mari Makinami. We have a very retro camera from the 1950s or something. I have no idea. I still like Rei and Asuka more. I think the same brand did Rei and Asuka, and those were really nice. Came with LEDs, for the studio lights next to the figure. Was it the same studio? I think it was. Moving up next. Oh, this figure of Frieren has a bit of drama going on the internet. And I'm going to tell you about it, right? The story behind this figure, which was something that happened within the last day or two. Very recent. But before that, let's take a look at the details here. 1x6 scale. $195 by AO Studio and no release date yet. Which in my opinion is very expensive. Borderlining on overpriced because this is a plain and simple figure. And she's wearing only a white top and bottom. Not much, right? And obviously this is like a fan service figure. You buy it to enjoy looking at her waistline, which looks really nice in my opinion. And yes, people on the internet, presumably X or Twitter, are complaining about how this is inaccurate. It does not depict Frieren very well as a character. Frieren would never dress up this way. She's a very conservative character. She's my ideal anime girl, She doesn't show off her skin. Yeah. Social justice warriors are filthy anime tourists on the internet complaining about this figure. Now, let me tell you guys one thing. Is this Frieren figure accurate to what we see in the anime? Of course, it is not. And that is the whole point. If you want an anime figure that is accurate to the original material, be it a manga or a VN or an anime or a game, you buy licensed, genuine figures. The whole point of third-party resin figures is to make a fan art of a popular anime character into a figure. And this fan art can be 18 plus or not. Really depends on the artist. So if you look at your favorite anime or game characters and there are people on the internet doing 18 plus stuff about it, their own fan art, they upload it to Pixiv. It is the same thing. The difference is that is 2D artwork on the internet. This is 3D object where you can purchase. It is a fan service version of an existing popular character because there are gooners out there who want to buy something like that. That is the whole point. But to an average anime tourist who only watch 360p anime on an illegal streaming website, what do they know? They know nothing. And even if they paid for Crunchyroll, they still know nothing because they don't collect anime figures to begin with. They are not in the hobby. For those of you filthy casuals or anime-only tourists who are complaining about this inaccurate Frieren figure, I'm suggesting you guys to go and search for this Frieren and Fern figure made by this very specific company called Murloc Studio. M-U-R-L-O-C. Murloc Studio. You can search it in this website, OSGK, and go and have a look what the figure is like. And good luck. I mean, really, good luck. Prepare a bottle of bleach maybe, just in case you need to clean your eyes. you have seen nothing, right? There are a lot of other worse figures in the world of third parties. This is very tame by comparison. So back to this Frieren figure over here. I think the face looks fine. And the body sculpt, everything. I think this is a pretty figure. It is a simple figure. Body sculpt and face, everything. I have no issues with it. The only issue I have is the pricing, I suppose. Yeah. So let's move on to the next figure here. Dragonstone Studio is back with their recast GKs. Sakura Kinomoto from Card Captor Sakura at 1/7. $146 releasing in December. This feels like looking at an anime figure from 20 years ago. Yep, 20 years ago. You should have taken a look at good small company figures, scale figures from around 2005 to 2008. They look roughly like this. Low detail, but they were quite nice, right? They were like 5,000 yen, 6,000 yen. So this reminds me of those figures from 20 years ago. My experience of collecting anime figures does not go as far back as year 2005, but I've seen those, right? Okay, moving on to the next one, Dragonstone Studio again, and this Kuro, I'm going to call her Black because that is her Japanese name. Kuro Ansburn from Fate Khalid Prisma Ilya. I feel I've covered this figure before by a different brand. And now Dragonstone Studio is making the same thing, which means this is definitely a recast of a Japanese GK. And two companies happened to get their hands on the same model, which is why they are recasting it and making the same thing. So this is $189 by Dragonstone Studio. The price is okay, given that this is 1/6 scale. And yeah, she is borderline Hadaka. Very nice figure, but it is not like they did the sculpting. So yeah, no comment from me. Moving on to the next one, Yozai Wenshing Studio is back with their 1/3 scale doll. And you should take a look at the Hadaka pictures over at OSGK. Their Twitter, their ex specifically, they posted pictures of her without any clothes all over there. Looks quite glorious, I have to say. But the face of this saber, I'm not quite sure what to think. 1/3 scale, $347, which is okay given the scale, and it is an action figure, a doll where you can pose, and releasing this May, I think. No, she looks sleepy. She looks bored. Like, are you going to train with me this morning or not? No, Shiro trains with her. And somebody did complain why her armor looks soft and flexible, as if it was made from cloth. Yeah, it is very obvious that her armor is made from soft material over here. Like fake leather, that kind of material. And the reason is very simple. Because if this was made from a harder material, it would be too thin, it would be really fragile if it was resin, but if they went die cast, this would be $800. So this is mostly a Guna doll in disguise as an anime character, as an anime action figure. But this is something you can go Hadaka and enjoy looking at the details. And I suppose that they wanted to keep the price around the $350 price range, so they couldn't give her metal parts or even solid plastic parts, because that will increase the price. So far, Yozai Wenshing Studios dolls or figures, right? Every single one of them hover around the same price range, $330 to $350. I think that has to be the reason. Next up over here, nice. Beast Studio Yona from Pokemon. I guess that Nintendo has not sent them a cease and desist letter yet. $221 releasing in December. Yep, Guna figure. But this is all I can show because nowadays YouTube has updated their AI algorithm when it comes to safety check, and they are starting to pick more fights with anime figures. Yes. So I don't have a choice over here. And you should check out the pictures on OSGK as usual. This is not Beast Studios' first Guna Pokemon figure, not their first, but this is a brand where you need to be extra careful because they're inconsistent. They have the good ones and also the bad releases. Yeah. Next up over here, Third Eye Studio, The Legend of Zelda for Urbosa 4 Champion. Yep, we are in game character territory right now since Pokemon earlier. So this is $463 at 1/4, I believe. It is non-scale, but the dimensions is 50 cm, including the base. We are in 1/4 scale territory. maybe a bit bigger than that. Okay, the base is not that tall actually. If you look at the thickness from her feet, this is a bit taller than 1x4, I think, which is nice. I'm not really happy with the detail level, to be honest, both in the paint and in the body sculpt, but not a Legend of Zelda fan myself, so let's move on to the next one. This is really nice. One of the top third-party resin figures even for this week. So we are looking at 1680 Studio Velvet from Goddess of Victory Nikke. 1x4 scale for $310. No release date yet. Do you guys have any idea how much I wished for a 1x7 scale PVC figure of what I'm looking at over here? The same thing in 1x7, I mean. Yeah, 1x4 is nice, but I don't see myself buying too many 1x4 scale Nikke figures. Where do I display them? This in 1x7, the same exact thing would be really nice because her face is beautiful. And here, here's a picture of her actual head sculpt, a sample at least. You look at the paintwork and the sculpt around her mouth, the tongue region. Oh, fabulous. Very nice. Very promising, in fact. I've never heard of 1680 Studio, but if the prototype or the sample they are showing us is the same thing we're getting, this is very promising. Moving on to the next one here with Etheria Studio 2B from Nier Automata, a pretty simple figure of her at $157. 1x6 scale, no release date yet, so... Well, if I get a 2B figure, you know, I want her with a sword at least, her holding some kind of weapon, so this is not my kind of 2B figure, but at least the price is cheap, $157. And I've gone through the pictures below, and there are no pictures of her with the goggles removed. Goggles, more like a blindfold. So this is all you get. But for the price, it is okay. Next up, oh, Kani. She is not Hadaka, but I still chose to draw some yellow boxes on her just in case. Because the sculpt of this figure, of this statue, is way too beautiful. Way too realistic, you know. Waving Bunny Studio Shamare from Arknights, and yes, I want it really badly. The only bad news is that there is no cast off. This is all you get, but the sculpt is beautiful, man. The face, the pose, everything. $279 is really pricey, even at 1x6 scale. And releasing this September. This is also one of my favorite third parties this week, together with that Nikke Velvet figure earlier. Come on, man, make a cast-off version. Next up, over here, Genshin Impact Raiden Shogun by Pink Lady Studio. $366 at 1x6 scale because this is a huge figure and coming out next month in April. Which means they have been manufacturing this thing for a few months now. And they are only taking pre-orders now because they're confident they are going to sell all of their allocated units. Maybe that's the case. Face looks good, looks accurate to me. But I guess for the rest of us who collect genuine PVC figures, we can just wait for the Apex Toys version. No idea how long we have to wait, but there is an official version coming soon. This is something more premium. Look at the base. That base is amazing. I think $366 is reasonable given what we're getting over here. A lot of stuff. And this is the base. God hand. Right, moving on to the next one here. Brown Dust 2 Gunner game. By Chen Ben Yingong Zhao Studio with Darian from Brown Dust 2. $193 at 1x6 scale. Releasing this September. Alright, she looks really nice. Very detailed. And the ice cream over there, I'm not quite sure what to think. Of course, I couldn't show the back view of this figure for obvious reason. She's too hot for the feminist who may be working as a moderator over on YouTube, so I had to cover up her backside. But the face sculpt is very nice. Like, there is virtually nothing I can complain about, just that I'm not exactly a fan of figures that come with ice cream or any dessert, It is a concept in some genuine figures too. There were those Essential Quintuplet figures. Was it Prisma Wing? I can't remember. Or was it a prize figure where they are sitting in these wine glasses and then sitting on ice cream or cake, stuff like that. Not a fan of those. Yeah. Next up here, we have Neoma from Xenoblade Chronicles 2 by Origin Studio. This is a 1x4 at $639, December release. Ew. Realistic face, but good news is we have anime face at least. What? Looks good to me. Whenever I look at Neoma, it reminds me, or she reminds me of Angela Bolsek. Yes, from Raquin Suiho, Lost from Paradise. Like the same color scheme, science fiction and so on. Did Origin Studio make 1x4 skills of other characters like Pyra and Mitra? Maybe they did, but I can't remember because it would be pretty weird to make only Neoma and not the other two, right? Or maybe they are next, who knows? Reminds me of not only Angela Bolzek, but also Greenheart. Yes, from, what's the name again? You know which game I'm talking about. Yep, Hyperdimension Neptune. Okay, up next, OSGK, why did you slap your logo on your face? Oh my god. There are so many empty spaces in the picture you put your logo on the face, what the heck. Okay, Dragonstone Studio again, Blue Archive, Sorasaki Hina. $144, releasing in December. So this one, they are just recasting a GK obviously, but if you want a figure of Hina in this dress, I think Good Smart is making one and she's on pre-order. Right, the dress version, memorial lobby version, I think, 115,000 yen. I don't remember if that one has these wings over here, but I think the dress is the same exact one. So why would I get something more fragile like a resin figure unless I'm a big fan of her and I want to buy everything? Yeah, get the Good Smile version first. I'm sure there will be people who buy her, the big fans, but still get the Good Smile version first. Next one here, we have Sorasaki Hina taking a bath. And yep, that is all I can show because she is full Hadaka. I can't put that on YouTube, by FWS Studio. And you can have her in Safe for Work or not Safe for Work version. Interesting. I wonder how many people will buy the Safe for Work version. Which dumbass would do that? I have no idea. Of course, you'll buy the not Safe for Work version, man. She's not wearing anything anyway. She's taking a bath, man. So this is releasing in June for $216. Well worth it. Just that, you know, if your country is strict about this stuff, then yeah, good luck with importing one. The face looks nice though. Very pretty. No problems with her face over there. And moving up next, we have a bunch of Wuthering Waves figures this week. Yeah, no Snowbreak Containment Zone because Feminist once again managed to shut down the game and put it in maintenance mode. That's what I heard. There is a story for another day, right? I don't want to go off topic here. Hopefully WuWa is not next because I heard that those activists are going after pretty much every gacha game. But no, those people, they have to be really careful because Blue Archive fans are not people they should mess with. Especially Blue Archive fans. Right, back to topic right here. Wuthering Waves, AmiAmi and Linae from LS Studio, $199 each. Releasing in no release date again. Okay, this is the more normal figure of AmiAmi, right? AmiAmi, okay. So to me, this character is like Wuthering Waves version of Alicia from Honkai Impacted. It feels like every Chinese game is trying to copy MiHoYo's characters in some way. And even MiHoYo, they copy their own characters, right? Honkai Star Rail and Honkai Impacted, if you cross-check each other, their characters look pretty similar as well. Okay, this would be, yep, Linae. Very nice. Right, the faces on both look pretty good, but I don't know much about LS Studio. The sculpt looks pretty good. Next up over here, AmiAmi again from Wuthering Waves by Extreme Studio. Never heard of them. $199 releasing in September. This is pretty much JK, right? School uniform and partially undressed. But once again, I'm not sure if I'm looking at a Wuthering Waves character or a Blue Archive character, you know, Urawa Hanako, a Honkai character. And the next, AmiAmi again. This really looks like Alicia, man. By Grooming Studio. $221 releasing in September. This one resembles Alicia the most among the three over here. Right, in this wedding dress, I think Wuthering Studio has made an Alicia figure in this similar outfit, which is why it looks so familiar to me. Wuthering Studio, they make good figures though. I've seen their actual releases. And next up here, Lee Yue Studio has Camellia from Wuthering Waves in a swimsuit. What do you call this? There is a specific name for this swimsuit. It looks really beautiful, right? Just that, you know, it feels like a waste to me because the face and the head sculpt is perfect already. But if they gave this figure more detail, like wearing something else other than a swimsuit, I think this would be even nicer. You know, make two versions, version A and version B. Version A, some combat or outfit or skin we see in the game, and version B, the swimsuit version. I think this figure deserves two different versions, but I get it. They want to put her on this water base and it looks fabulous, right? $223 is about right for 1/6 scale and releasing in September. Next up, Wuthering Waves again, Chisa. Maid Cafe version by LS Studio again. $199 and we only have one picture over here, no release date. There are many other better Chisa figures, including those with a bit of fan service. So this one is a bit underwhelming to me. You know, it is just a maid character. Next up over here, this is probably the best third party this week, but I feel like AmiAmi Studio is making it way too obvious that they are copying Mieto's homework. Yes, that Yvonne figure that pre-order opened a week or two ago, they definitely copied that. She looks nice, so I can't really complain much. AmiAmi Studio Maureen from Wuthering Waves, $240. For everything you're getting over here, reasonable. September release. And you're also getting whatever this bonus item is. That is a nice bonus for sure. Oh, that face is beautiful. The only problem with AmiAmi Studio is that sometimes, right, their final releases, the actual figure looks a bit less detailed than what was being promised in the official product pictures, like this one over here. Reminds me of Furio and Phoenix, right? Their scale figures, they promise you this much and then the actual figure is a bit less well defined, less detailed, but still looks like the official pictures in a way, something like that. Yeah. So AmiAmi Studio is like a second tier or B tier third party resin figure brand. Nothing quite wrong with them, but there are a few other brands better than them at the same time. Something like that. Yeah. Still a good purchase though. I still think this is a good purchase. And this figure, together with that Velvet earlier from Nikke, and also, what was the third one? The one I really liked. Yeah, these three are my favorite third parties this week. So Rasaki Hina taking a buff did not make it into my top 3 this week. Oh yes, that Arknights Shamare. Yep, my top 3 this week. Right, next up we have Zenless Zone Zero Yi Xuan from AWSL Studio. $242 at 1/6 scale, December release. A bit expensive, right? The pose is on the simple side. The base is just okay. $242 is a bit pricey. And let me have a look at the face. Alright, the face is really pretty, really nice. Okay, this looks fantastic, but I still feel it is kinda expensive. And the last third-party resin figure for this week, we have Blooming Lily Studio. They make a lot of Azalane stuff. So this time around, it's Musashi and Shinano again in Bunny Girl outfit. You can get both for $789, including that acrylic case over there. I think it should be acrylic, can't be glass. Or you can get either one at $462, which is obviously bad value because $462 multiplied by 2 is like over $900, $924 or so. So you will want to get the set for $789, right? The face on both is okay. It is like something is a bit off in my opinion, especially for Shinano. Yet at the same time, I can see people eating this thing up because they are 1/4 scale, not many of those out there, and the display box is really pretty, I have to admit that. So that is all for figures on pre-order this week. Which one is your favorite? Which one will you pre-order early or buy after release? Let me know down in the comments below. And until then, thanks a lot for watching. If you enjoyed it, once again, please to give this video a like and subscribe to this channel. And I'll see you again in a few days. Goodbye.